be at another Customer 360 Symposium. My name's Grant Pattison. I'm the Senior Manager for Marketing and Sales Technology at IAG. You're not expected to know who I am necessarily, but I've put together a bit of a quick cheat sheet so we can get to know each other a bit faster. So I'm 6'4" and own a British Racing Green Mini, Mr Bean style, 1964. I absolutely love it. It's not my day-to-day car, but you know, it's a good weekender. I was the first industry official marketing technologist for the insurance industry. I'm sure many other people did similar functions to this before I officially got the title, but it's something that I'm quite proud of. I studied film and photography at university, and why I think that's relevant here is I approached the role from a creative standpoint and have had to work quite hard to apply data and science to my creative background. I'm a mentor at financial technology incubator Stone and Chalk, helping a couple startups out there in Sydney. And I'm an owner of an iKettle, and the iKettle helps solve a problem that my wife and I have, which is who's going to get up off the couch every night and make a cup of tea. Because it comes with an app, you can start the kettle from your smartphone. And I haven't quite figured out how to plumb it into the water supply yet, or actually work out how to pour the tea, but certainly has my wife thinking how else you can make me redundant. Moving on, so this is one of my favourite quotes for the marketing technologist. I'm sure many of you have seen it before. It comes from Jack Welch, the ex-CEO of GE, where he talks about if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near. Now, this was in the 2000 GE annual report. You can download it. It's not a standard annual report. I think it's really quite interesting. This quote is actually under a section called Relishing Change. And Jack's message was he wanted a century-old institution like GE, or for us, IAG, to embrace change, be lovers of change. And he talks about how GE weren't better prophets of the future, better predictors of the future, but when a problem or opportunity arose, they jumped on it 110% and tried to make every post a winner. So they moved into Mexico, Asia, Japan in the 90s, and also acquired Honeywell, which was really successful for them. Underneath this quote, Jack actually talks about digital being the next wave of growth for GE, which is quite absurd when you think about it, because this was 16 years ago. And digital's all the rage now, but Jack was talking about it all that time ago. So the underlying message that I really like about this quote is that change is a constant. Change can actually be your oxygen and fuel for your growth strategy going forward. Same can't really be said for this mob. In 1999, they commissioned a report into how digital might change their business. Their finding was that investor concern over the threat of new technologies is overstated. What makes this worse, and not many people know this, is that 6 months later they had the opportunity to buy a fledgling video streaming company called Netflix. You may have heard of them. And then 15 years later, unfortunately, the last Blockbuster stores are closing down. Now, to be fair to Blockbuster, they're not the only ones that have kind of gone through this story. And for us, in 2008, you know, QBE, one of our biggest competitors, attempted to take us over, and it was a big trigger for change for us. We have lots of brands in the group. Some of them were performing, some of them weren't performing. And before I joined the greater IAG group, I did a lot of work with CGU Insurance, and CGU is a company that manufactures products for brokers and agents to sell to their customers. And we've seen a dramatic drop-off in broker visits to our site. So this is actually the Maitland insurance office just around the corner from here. And we'd seen broker visits to the Maitland office drop from 23.2 visits in 1995 to 2.6 visits in 2012. That's a 90% reduction. And this is further muddied by the growth of marketing technologies. So in 2011, there was 150 marketing technology companies around. Fast forward to 2016, there's 3,500, quite a significant increase. IAG's been around since 1851, so for over 160 years, and you can imagine in 1851, if you take yourself back there, how people got water, right? They would have had to dig a well, try and get the water out and then purify it. That was a lot the same how technology used to be, right? But now you fast forward, you just go to your kitchen, you turn on a tap and you've got water, right? Now this analogy is now how technology operates. It should be, your organisation should be creating custom and bespoke solutions as an exception. Because chances are, if you do enough research and you look out in the market, another company or another organisation has already tried to solve your problem and has 80 or 90% of the solution. Whether that's be for analytics, CRM, content management, marketing automation, even channels like webinars and live chat, there's already likely solutions out there for you. Today, 83% of marketers say creating customer-centric propositions is a priority. However, only 23% claim to be advanced in their implementation. Every company is reasonably good at strategy. However, what differentiates a marketing technologist is their focus on delivery and execution. They have a bias to action, and they know how to overcome hurdles to get stuff done. So a marketing technologist act as a bridge between marketing, sales, and IT. Marketing traditionally hasn't understood IT, and IT traditionally hasn't understood marketing and sales. So the marketing technologist is an intermediary between those functions. We're more than just techies or consultants who aren't truly accountable for delivery. We're dedicated professionals as passionate about business as we are about technology. We love challenges. There's always another problem to solve, another innovation to implement. And our team's background is quite diverse. You know, we do process re-engineering, advertising, social media, CRM, mobility, IT, intra and entrepreneurship, web design and build that helps navigate the digital world. And we can't do it alone. So sometimes we put our hands up and say that we have a knowledge gap or a capability gap. So we have a network of partners in place so that progress is always possible. Now, in the context of acting as the bridge between marketing, sales, and IT, there's a number of use cases that commonly come up, whether it's for lead generation, crisis management, as the Unilever rep talked about, data visualization, customer service, investor relations, it all goes on. But you can see that there's examples of how marketing technology can enable different solutions for those different use cases and objectives. So take the top one, which is lead generation, which I've categorised as alerts to the outbound sales team for action. Well, if you're creating a lot of content, whether they be webinars or ebooks or things that are kind of longer form content, you can put a content gate in front of it that generates instant alerts to your sales team to follow up. Crisis management, again, the Unilever speaker talked about how CNN are always the first ones on the spot when there's a crisis in the Middle East. Well, how is that possible? Well, they have one of the most sophisticated social media command centres you've seen. So they get early warning systems through those social systems, which means they can quickly get to where they need to. Data visualisation. I'm a big kind of consumer psychology and behavioural science nut. And employee motivation is a big one. There's an old adage that people respect what you inspect. So all your KPIs and metrics, a quick, easy employee motivator is to put all those around the office on big TV screens and make sure that everybody that's walking past the high traffic areas know how you're tracking to plan. Customer service, which this conference is about in customer experience, making sure that all your customer feedback, all your customer service cases are all appended in one system, which for me should be your CRM. And how can you make investor relations sexy? All right? So, for a brand like IAG, which is synonymous with being more of a shareholder brand, a community brand, a government relations brand, why couldn't we use Periscope or Meerkat and actually live stream our CEO giving results briefings? So this is IAG's integrated marketing stack. The four boxes in the middle are the core stack. So the first piece is the data platform, where you have all your customer insights, all your customer relationship management activities, policy and customer data in our context, and any third-party information that helps add value to that customer relationship. For us, that's Salesforce.com, but it could be any other CRM like Oracle or Microsoft Dynamics or whatever you might use. Now, the purpose of that data platform, there's a lot of purposes for it, but one of the main ones is it creates triggers and insights that can be plugged into your automation platform, which for us, we're a big Salesforce user, so we use their Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Marketing Automation Cloud, where we plug in all the customer journeys that we have and decide what channel we need to distribute our message to those customers through. So whether it's email or SMS or mobile push notifications, whatever it might be. What a lot of people leave out of their marketing stack is their orchestration and performance platform or marketing operations platform. So where are all your approvals? Where are all your creative being stored? How are you auditing the performance of different campaigns? And is there a central location for all your third-party agencies to upload their creatives and approvals into? So for us, we use a platform called Simple HQ to do that. Now, the icing on top is our decision engine and machine learning engine. So it takes all the insights of the campaigns that we run and puts it into this engine so that when we run similar campaigns in the future, we can make sure that they're being optimised. And we purchased a third-party data science company called Ambiata who fill that role for us. The next is, once you've got that core stack in place, you can start to bolt on services to that stack. So that stack, for me, should never change. But when you start thinking about web analytics, your content management system, your print and direct mail, and also how you visualize data, you can start to bolt on different applications. And there's many more apps that you can put on here. I haven't put them all. But one of my favorites is the CX Replays app there, Tea Leaf. So we run a thing called Movie Nights, where we, instead of web analytics, which is more of a data-driven piece of insight, we actually get high-fidelity movie replays of customer sessions and experiences. And we glam it up a little bit. We have popcorn and choc tops in this meeting, but it kind of lightens the mood for what is otherwise essentially a governance forum, a steering committee, where actually we use the videos and the movies to actually inform customer experience improvements. So there's actually action taken in those meetings based on what we actually see. Just like a call centre where you're measuring, you're listening to the calls of customers dialing in, you're actually taking change using real-time sessions. So how do we deliver ROI? So once you've got your marketing technology stack established, you can start to take your observed, declared and inferred customer data and turn it into insight and personalisation opportunities, which ultimately drives improved decisions and genuine engagements. A good real-life example is the banks, right? The banks went for eligible families that have a baby, you get a baby bonus, right? And that payment comes in with a particular transaction code, which drives a trigger for the banks to reach out to that family and offer a personal loan, for example, to get you through the next 12 months while you're on maternity and paternity leave. Very straightforward, but the decision engine or that machine learning engine that I talked about may, depending on the performance of that campaign, select a different pre-approved offer for you guys to roll out. And before you know it, you have a data-first culture and a good chance of increasing your return on investment. So what are we doing? So particularly in the context of CGU Insurance, which is more of a B2B organisation, we're connecting pipelines with some of our biggest brokers so that when they're making changes to their leads and opportunities and status updates are coming through, we can automatically sync that with one another using Salesforce. We've sized the complete small to medium enterprise market for insurance using industry segmentation, sub-segments, occupations, turnover bands, volume and revenue potential, geographic indicators, growth projections, and digital behaviours. That Ambiata company that I was talking about is helping us with predictive analytics, modelling, and closed-loop marketing, particularly for a brand like NRMA Insurance, which predominantly sells car insurance and home insurance. You know, we can do propensity modelling where we can understand, you know, if they drive a particular vehicle, like a ute, for example, it may mean that they're a tradie, and we can start to do some cross-sell, upsell promotions for business insurance with them. Instead of offering products, we're offering customer-centric products. So we would traditionally go out to market with business insurance, but now we're going out to market with handyman and property maintenance cover, a tailored and personalised package specific to that occupational segment. In insurance, one of the biggest issues is under-insurance, right, where people don't insure their assets for enough. But what if we could connect to an accounting system like Xero to validate whether they have enough insurance? And furthermore, if their needs change, a lot of businesses are seasonal, right? If they put on an extra contractor or their turnover is significantly increased to what they've told us, why do we ask the customer to give us a call about that? Why couldn't we just plug into their accounting system, get a notification of the change and proactively change the insurance experience and go back to them with and tell them that they're going to be protected? And lastly, we're actually helping our brokers and agents prospect better too. So we have a unique relationship and partnership with LinkedIn, helping them to use their Sales Navigator product to find mid-market and corporate customers to target and ultimately place with one of our brands. But why does all this matter? Well, context and relevance is why it matters. You can now deliver contextual consumer experiences based on somebody's precise physical location. This is the new Marketing 101. Marketing's always been about delivering the right message at the right time and making sure that it's relevant, but the abundance of marketing technologies now is making it easier than ever before. Whether it's understanding the background of a particular jacket that you're looking to buy in a retail store, or getting a 10% discount voucher for popcorn or a chop top as you're walking into a movie theatre, or for us, how can we minimise the amount of injuries on a large construction site? So this is what it could look like in a retail context, right? These are some of the real-time analytics and personalisation opportunities that you can see. So the frequency of visitation, understanding somebody that walks into a store, understanding if they're struggling or they're ready to buy, time spent in store, travelling through to a particular zone where it might be a discount section, or are they leaving the store too early? And I noticed, for example, there was a lady from V-Line here today. I don't know where she is, but imagine if we could, say, reinvent the train platform experience by putting beacons, for example, around it and helping to save time and providing real-time updates whether your train was coming through on time. So what I want to show you is a really cool video from a shoe company in Guatemala who have used an ambush marketing campaign to take on some of the biggest brands in the world using beacon technology.
Here I am in the Nike store. There he is. He's getting the message. There's a promotion for BPAC. I think so. Yeah, we got him. Sick bubble gum!
Meatpack is the trendiest shoe store in Guatemala, a brand known for its edgy, cutting style and a store known for its unique discounts in limited edition kicks including brands like Adidas, Nike and Reebok. An icon for the sneakerhead subculture with over 60,000 fans on their fan page in less than a year. They needed to launch a new promotion that lived up to their hardcore fans, an innovative way to earn your discount. We created Hijack, an enhancement for the official Meatpack app used by our customers. Using GPS tracking technology that marks every competitor's store of the brand sold at Meatpack. So every time one of our sneakerheads enters one of the stores, it triggers a special notice with a promotion. Hijack sends an alert to the person's mobile with a discount that starts at 99% and decreases by 1% every second that goes by, making the countdown stop until you reach our store. More than 600 customers were hijacked from the competitors in a week. One customer, Pedro Rodriguez, got a record-breaking 89% discount. This is the first promo campaign that started the sale in the competitors' stores.
How cool is that? Imagine Medibank with an app where they're hijacking Bupa customers, huh? Hopefully there's nobody from Bupa in the room. So you can see that Meatpack use a combination of GPS to geofence their competitors' stores and then use a push notification for customers that have their mobile app, send them a notification, and when they open it, the countdown starts. And we believe there's a real opportunity with the Internet of Things. So the Internet of Things is a future concept where everyday physical objects will be connected to the internet and be able to identify themselves to other devices. And it's really important to understand some of the differences with these types of technologies. So GPS, as you saw there, it uses a lot of power to get to that kind of result, and it doesn't have a lot of accuracy when it comes to indoor navigation. Where beacons are low power energy, they're Bluetooth enabled, they last about 2 years on average. They deliver highly accurate and contextual and relevant messages, as you can say, and don't cost very much. The average beacon costs about $30. They're one of my favourite pieces of technologies. At IAG, we're in the business of making your world a safer place. For our customers, we believe we can do this by providing appropriate insurance as a fallback safeguard, but also use technology to protect businesses' intellectual property, data, customer records, and also potentially look at new future risk management solutions, and that's what our CG insurance business has done. How can we help brokers manage their customers' risk better? So taking that beacon example, we've put together a future concept of how we could make large work sites safer.
John is a contract crane operator because while he's never been to the site before, CGU has enabled technology that will help the operator get people up to speed faster. It starts before he even gets to the site. Once he agrees to the job, John downloads the construction app, selects the site he will be working at, and is prompted to begin his general induction. On his first morning, as John walks through the front entrance where an iBeacon is located, his app automatically signs him in and sends his information to the site administration office. His building pass, name tag and documentation are then printed, ready and waiting for him. The construction app recognises it is John's first time on site. While he's in the site office, he receives a notification that includes a list of relevant safety information, including safety representatives for the day, site maps, evacuation points, delivery times and a weather forecast. The induction goes smoothly and John is ready to get to work. When John is on site, the network of iBeacons track his movement and the construction app helps him feel more at home with the equipment he'll be using. As he approaches the crane, he is sent relevant information about it, including a safety compliance checklist, the maintenance history, time on site, operating manual, and standard operating procedures. By using this technology, John is able to approach his job with more confidence, making the site safer and more efficient. The iBeacons around the site helps the management team improve work practices. They can quickly see the number of people on the site, staff that need a training refresh, restricted area headcount, and security logs. The construction app and iBeacons is helping site managers make construction sites safer.
So in 2015, there was an estimated 10 billion connected devices globally, and the impact on the global economy was estimated to be about $2 trillion in GDP. As you can see on this slide, there are a number of everyday objects that we're talking about, from my new toothbrush, which comes with an app, which has a very silly option for me to share my brushing habits with my dentist. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Or my eye kettle, which I can wake up in the morning to the scent of peppermint tea, has an alarm clock feature in it. Tesla's another interesting case. So Tesla's finally arrived in Australia. You can shell out 200 or 300 grand for a Tesla. But why buy Tesla? Well, for example, once you connect your car to the internet, you get daily firmware updates to your vehicles. Why I really like this use case is it's one of the only vehicles that actually gets better the moment that you drive it out of the dealership. And you can see this is only going to get worse. So by 2020, it's estimated there's going to be 50 billion connected devices, and that GDP economic impact is going to grow to $7.1 trillion. And McKinsey have projected that the ceiling is going to be in 2025 when it gets to $11.1 trillion. So how is your company preparing to capitalise on this massive opportunity around connected devices? And it's across all industries. I've just picked a couple here, being transportation, healthcare, retail, and utilities. But there's thousands and thousands of use cases that you can think about how you can build new commercial models for your organisation. which got me thinking, how could we improve the Crowne Plaza Hunter Valley here? It's a beautiful venue, but for example, this morning, I locked myself out of my room because I didn't pull my thingamabobby out of my thingamabobby, which meant that I had to go to the concierge to get myself a new key card. So, for example, why couldn't we do this?
You got it? No. I got it.
So I filled out a customer feedback form at the concierge, and that's what I put on there. But opening up hotel doors with your phone is probably an example of automating low-level decisions. And we're about to enter an era of what I call living services. You know, obviously you could expand that use case to be, you know, turning on the lights from your phone, adjusting the temperature from your phone, but we're going to actually start to see services adjust in real time based on what those sensors in the different areas of your room or lobby or wherever it might be are actually picking up on their signals. Platforms will become flexible and will adapt to changes around them. You need to make sure that your technologies can flex with different inputs coming from things like sensors. And organisations need to constantly adapt and be able to customise themselves for the customer need of the moment. We're getting down to segments and experiences at a one-to-one level. And flexibility rather than efficiency will be the key. But obviously it comes with different challenges as well. Security is a big one. There's a huge threat around personal information. And a lack of standardisation around technology isn't happening either. As I said, bespoke solutions are actually one of the most critical things that you need to watch out for. You need to think about how you're going to integrate your piece of marketing technology back into your core platforms and core business processes. And absence of governance is going to be another one. It's going to create an issue. You need to have new law. There's going to be new laws created to protect the customer. It's all going to be about privacy and making sure that customer is aware of what you're using their data for. And finally, speed versus quality. Can we handle the growth at the rate of the internet is implying on us? So in conclusion, the enemy is that there's 13 billion people, companies and things generating data, and most of this data is being ignored. The antidote is enterprise marketing software as a solution tools to enrich your data and enable you to take action on it. It's all about centralised data and decentralised action. The opportunity is around omni-channel research and personalisation and a data-first operating culture. And finally, your impact is around extraordinary competitive advantage using that personalised and data-first operating culture. So for more information about IAG, feel free to go to our shared value page and help us with some ideas about how we can create more value for the community. I hope you've gotten some value out of this presentation and enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you.